Evening, sir.
There you go. We're on. We're up. We're running. So we'll just close that one down. Hello, Reggie. How are you?
I'm all right, sir. How are you?
Yes, not too bad. Not
Nice
too
one.
bad. Here we
Nice
go.
one.
Another. Well, dear me, it's been another couple of weeks again.
Been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah, few things to talk about in all things rugby league this week. That said,
things.
Yeah, before we get on to the English game, I don't know if you had a chance to see it. South Sydney last week had Latrell Mitchell's pass in that game out of this world.
Yeah, the guy's magic.
He is fastly becoming the new Greg Inglis, that boy, I have to say.
Yeah, he's been thereabouts for a few years, Latrell Mitchell. And he's kind of getting to that kind of standard now. He's a superb player, Latrell Mitchell. He's the players they've got over there is phenomenal.
Well, I'm sure should we do it now? Let's just do it now. I'm sure we're going to talk about it anyway.
It's a massive elephant in the room, isn't it?
So we may as well kick off. We haven't had a chance to discuss that one yet. What's your thoughts?
So you know what? I can generally see both sides of the argument, but to make that a nice announcement in the way that they did, and after to all intents and purposes, so let's believe the RFL and the World Cup organisers had bent over backwards to accommodate them in any COVID protocol. The one thing for sure is it certainly sparked a war of words. Phil Gould has hit out at international, the state of our international rugby league team. I think Simon Johnson, who spoke really well actually, when I saw the interviews with him, I said it's a cowardly decision. Wow, if that's going to fire the Aussies and the New Zealanders up, that's going to be it.
Yeah, it's heavy. But you said that you understand it. I think the fact that they sent a sevens team to the from an Australia-New Zealand. I mean, I know it's a different game. And
I said I could understand. I didn't say I understood that. I could see both sides in general.
Yeah. Well, the players want to play.
Concerns. Yeah,
the players want to play, which I find. So the whole thing is about player. Well, they've come at it from a player welfare perspective. COVID and the rest of it, but the players want to
not ask the players.
Yeah,
not ask the players. I can see the concerns. I can, but if then shouldn't that be a governmental decision rather than an actual individual sporting decision? They've sent, like you say, athletes to Tokyo. They're sending the union teams coming over in the autumn. Yeah, there's a sevens team over there. Yeah. There was Australian golfers in the Open at Wimbledon. The tennis players, it was won by an Aussie. The women's singles was won by an Aussie player. So.
Do you know what? Is it arrogant? I mean, hear this one. I think that they are relying on the fact that, let's be fair, the number 1-2 team in rugby league, international rugby league. We know that. New Zealand and Australia are the big two. I think the other teams, they need to call them up and say, right, we'll just go on without you then.
Because that's what does need to happen.
The moment they do that, I think the Australian Rugby League and New Zealand Rugby League will change their mind and say, well, actually, as long as there's certain provisions in place, we'll come.
Well, the whole thing behind it, allegedly, is the fact that the RFL don't want to give the Aussie players an extra 2 weeks off in their between season break, which is scandalous. We're in the middle of a worldwide pandemic.
Well, and the
we've got players isolating for 10 days anyway.
it goes to show where the Australian Rugby League actually see international rugby league.
And I do agree with you in the fact that the other nations, and in fact my quote of the week.
Straight to it.
Straight to it.
Let's have it.
Is
hello
Jason...
to Hayley. Sorry, let's say hello to Hayley Marie. We've got Hayley Marie with us. Hello, Hayley. Go on, carry on, mate.
Yeah, it's Jason Tamalolo who said that he's all for flying to play in the World Cup. It's disappointing to have Australia and New Zealand pull out, but that doesn't hamper what this game is all about. It's about international footy and getting countries ready to play each other. And I thought, wow, a positive statement from a player there, from Tamalolo. And I thought that's going to be my quote of the week. And I think players are going to and countries are going to start calling the bluff. There's already calls for, I think, USA to replace one of the teams, and I'm sure I heard Spain, although I might be wrong on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, USA replacing them, which would give the game a great boost in the States, because their own version of Super League hasn't been able to get off the ground because of COVID.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
So, yeah.
Mate. It's a good quote. Well, as we're doing quotes of the week, we've done. Hayley said hi back. How isn't that lovely? Hayley said hello to us both.
Hello, Hayley.
Hello, Hayley.
Must be a Warrington fan.
Oh, no, I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. Hayley, who do you support? Let us know in the chat. Hayley, who you support. Right. Actually, she sticks around. Might even invite Hayley to do the predictions for this week. That'd be interesting. Live predictions from Hayley. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Right, my quote of the week. We've done Australia and New Zealand then. I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago, and it's still leaving a bit of a sour taste in my mouth. Wigan Warriors, Adrian Lamb. And Adrian Lamb came out and said this week, I'll talk to the club about in the next couple of weeks once I get through my players first, as I did last year in the same situation. It's no different, and if there's any further news, the club and myself will inform everyone as soon as possible. There's obviously something going on at Wigan. Hayley is a Warrington Wolves fan. Hello to Keith Mondrill as well. He's with us. Hello, Keith.
Good evening, Keith.
I'm a bit disappointed with Wigan. I have to be honest. I think there's a lot of talk that Sean Wayne's going to be going back. Let's be fair, Adrian Lamb, he's been coming in for a few pelters of late, but he's just gone on a 3-game winning streak, albeit, yes, twice against Huddersfield, once against Wakefield. But, he without those 3 wins, then, they're probably looking a little bit precarious. And Wigan fans would say they expect to win those games. They've just not been competitive in the likes of Catalan, Warrington. Saying that though, and St Helens obviously run riot against Wigan. To be fair, but yeah, I just expect more from the team that is probably coveted the most in English rugby league.
It's not the way to treat coach. I mean, he's had some success with them. I think they won the League Leaders' Shield last season, and as Sky keep reminding us, lost to a last-second try in the grand final.
They did.
I think that's
just in case you missed it.
Yeah, I think that's in Bill Arthur's contract that he has to mention that every game. But they have let themselves down in the past, Wigan, over their dealings with certain coaches and certain players. It's they do let themselves down a little.
They do. Very, very, very disappointing from that perspective. So anyway, what was your my moment of the week? Was the Australia-New Zealand pull out the World Cup? I think that was an obvious one, but we had to talk about it. What was yours the same, or did you have anything different? Yeah,
it was. Although my other highlight coming on from that was the Huddersfield game, Hull game on Wednesday or Thursday night. Can't remember now.
Yeah, brilliant.
Jermaine McGilvery scored 4 tries.
Correct.
But that wasn't my highlight or moment of the week.
Okay.
It was actually his after-game interview when he was given man of the match for scoring 4 tries.
Yeah.
And he turned around and said, I wasn't man of the match. It was the guys in the middle, the big guys in the middle who actually got me to the try line 4 times. And I thought, he's kind of said what we've said over many times on this programme. It's not... somebody scores 4 or 5 tries in a game for a reason.
Yeah.
And that reason is the rest of the team have put them in that position, unless it's a spectacular 90-meter interception or whatever. But 9 times out of 10, it's the players in the middle who've built that opening for that player to go in 3, 4, 5 times. And I thought, what nice one, Jermaine. That's it's too easy and it's lazy to give. I mean, great performance. I'm not slagging his performance off. You've got to be on the end of it. And a couple of them took scoring. His fourth one in particular was on my list of tries of the week.
Yeah.
But I thought, it's sometimes just laziness on the broadcaster's part to give it to the person who scores all tries. Watch the bigger picture, see who's creating the gaps, see who's laying the platform. Yates was magnificent. He was man of the match by a country mile.
Yeah, when you mentioned players in the middle, Luke Yates had a belting game in the middle.
And he was man of the match by a country mile.
Yeah, he played well, Luke Yates.
And fair play to Jermaine.
Yeah.
Scored 4 tries.
Yeah.
But let's look at the bigger game and let's look at those wider things, not just the guy who's grabbing the glory with the 4 tries or whatever. Just look at who's doing the hard work and laying the platform.
Yeah. Well, actually, funny enough, I actually went to Huddersfield, my team of the week, for the same reason. I mean, Catalans, don't get me wrong, Catalans continue to impress. 2 tight games, Hull KR, Leeds at the moments in that game. Hull KR, credit to Hull KR, they really put the frighteners on Catalan. But Huddersfield, and what we mustn't forget about Huddersfield, they were behind very early on in that game. Very, very early on in that game.
Sneed had a
belting game. He had a belting game.
He didn't deserve to be on the losing team, Sneed. He was superb all the way through.
It was a good advert, mate. It was a great advert. Again, we always talk about, we just hope, we said it before the Challenge Cup final, we just hope that Rugby League's the winner. And that was another one of those games where, Hull FC led for a long period in that game. I think the tide turned around the half-hour mark. For the first half an hour, Hull FC were very much in the arm wrestle. But I'd say the interesting thing for me in that game, we like a bit, youth coming through. Ben McNamara taking on William Price, two both playing standoff in that game too. Obviously, Ben McNamara, the son of Steve McNamara, and William Price, the son of Leon Price. So big rugby league history in both those 2 players. And I have to say, of the 2, William Price really caught the eye. Yeah,
and again, he was on my list of tries of the week. And we'll get around to that eventually. But impressive. And it's good to see. It's good to see young players coming through. There could be, I think they're probably both standoffs, but it bears well for the future. Although I think Price has played in the centre, hasn't he, before the first couple of appearances. I'm sure Huddersfield fans will correct me on that one.
I think Price is going to be interesting, Price, because obviously very much like Wellesby at St Helens, they're probably going to probably not tie him down. But again, what boded well in this game as well was the fact that no Aidan Season in that game for Huddersfield.
Yes, exactly.
So in the week that it's been announced that he's off to Leeds, fair play to
Luke Gale is out of Leeds as well, apparently for
he apologised. Yeah, well, we'll come to that, I'm sure. But he's apologised, hasn't he? But interesting. But I mean, in terms of Luke Yates, I agree. 146 metres he made in that game.
Yeah,
45 tackles as well. Put in a massive shift, and Josh Jones as well ran for 100 metres in that game. Really, really good performance from Josh Jones. But I thought that was a really, really good shout, good game, good team. Right, you've hinted at it a couple of times.
Well, I want to go on my team of the week first, sir.
Oh, is yours not Huddersfield? Mine's Huddersfield. What's yours?
Yes, it is. But they were pushed very, very, very close by Hull KR, who I think were unfortunate. There was a couple of magic moments from Mr. Thaler there that kind of have swung it in Catalan's way. Who'd have thought that, eh? But Hull KR were good value for money. But and if they'd have won, there's no doubt about the fact they'd have been my team of the week. But I think Huddersfield, coming off the back of that run of defeats, coming up against a Hull team that, when on the day can beat anyone. The Huddersfield were my team of the week as well.
Yeah,
I almost followed your pattern and went for Catalan, but then I thought, no, that'd be too easy.
Well, I mean, look,
I know what you're saying about Catalan, mate. They've been superb.
They've been immense, and that game against Hull KR, which obviously went down to a final penalty. We've discussed the fullback position a few times. Got to give a rap to Sam Tompkins. Yes, he scored the try, but he made 107 metres in that game on 19 carries. He had a real hand in everything that Catalan were doing.
Yeah, and we're talking about the young lads at Huddersfield and Leeds. This Artur Morg looks like a player.
Big, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
I will put bold statements out there. I bet that he will not be a Catalan player for much longer.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's a great player. I mean, he had a good game, you know, and any player that deputises for Maloney in Maloney's form, and you know, he certainly filled those shoes very, very well. And actually, I tell you talk about. I mean, we'll get to tries in a minute. I liked in this particular game. I thought the Tom Davies try was brilliant, but I would because McMeekin's offload was a thing of beauty.
Yes, superb.
Yeah. Adam Quinlan. I enjoyed Adam Quinlan's try for KR.
That was very, very close to being my try of the week. I have to say. Yeah. And was it Minikin?
McMeekin.
I thought that was.
McMeekin set up Davis, didn't he?
I thought Minikin scored as well.
McMeekin or Minikin?
Minikin, Greg Minikin.
I'm sorry. I thought you said McMeekin. Yeah. No, yeah. My
go on,
try.
Then, your try of the week. Then go on.
My try of the week. Temerari for Hull. Thought it was a great try. Great team try. Ball went through a lot of hands. Really enjoyed the try. Thought it was good, but you know, there's a lot of good. I mean, there was a lot of good tries. Good to see the kicking game coming into. You know, I mean, you've talked about Sneed already. Sneed was outstanding in that
first
game.
half, especially. He was unplayable. That's how good he was.
Yeah, pretty much. He was top of the shops in terms of that. Yeah. So let's just have a quick. Do you
want my try of the week, sir?
Sorry, I thought you'd give it me. Go on, carry on.
No, you're getting carried away, sir.
My
try of the week again. Jordan Abdul's was a good try. Harry Newman for Leeds. Cruz Leeming.
Yeah, that was a good try. Yeah, Cruz Leeming had a good game, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Cudjoe, his 300th try. Nice. 300th appearance. Sorry, trying his 300th appearance.
He's been a good pro, Cudjoe, hasn't he? He's been he has been. I mean, how old must he be? He's got to be in his 30s now.
50 now, and he must be at least 50.
Got to be, but yeah, he's been a sensational servant.
But my try of the week is Tui Lolohea from Salford.
Nice, yeah.
I think they've just gone down to 12 men, and they made the break and the kick through for Lolohea to score was superb. So that was my try of the week, Tui Lolohea.
Yeah.
So there you go, sir.
Nice. No. Good. Like I say, good tries all around. Really, there was a lot of good tries last week, and happy days. Right. Let's take a look. Should we take a look at the league? I'd say I'm finding it really hard. I don't know about you, but I'm finding it really hard at the moment with all what's going on. It's a bit all over the place, isn't it? The game is all the British game at the minute with all this COVID and what have you. It's hard. Yeah, do you know what? Yeah, I love the game. Absolutely love the game. It's tragic for the game, what's going on. But as a fan, it's hard work, isn't it? Because
what is going on with rugby league? No other sport, as far as I'm aware, is cancelling games.
Yeah,
because of COVID.
4 more. Salford have cancelled both of theirs. Saints is off in it tomorrow night.
You've got to be careful, haven't you? Because they're obviously this thing is still with us, and you have to be careful what you think's going on. But what is the game doing wrong that other sports aren't? There's so many games. We've had the odd player pull out of a team. The Euros, for example, a couple of England players self-isolating. England didn't stop travelling or ask for the game to be cancelled or postponed.
No.
We've got some athletes dropping out the Olympics, dropping out the golf for the tennis because of COVID.
Yeah.
The whole tournament wasn't postponed.
Well, it comes back to the argument in terms of, amateur rugby league, not amateur rugby league, the reserve grade rugby league, because, I'd rather see, like we saw Warrington do at Salford, where they very nearly beat Salford. They got they put virtually the kids out against Salford, and it was good. I mean, even though for 40 minutes they were outstanding, and it was good to see, and I'd rather, see that happen and the integrity of the league table be maintained.
Is this percentage of wins too convenient? Are they making it too convenient for teams? And you've got to be careful what you say. You've got to be very libelous. But is it just too convenient to have a league position decided on percentage wins.
Well, I think it's a very valid point. It's a very valid point. Let's take a look then. This is the league table that we're discussing. Let's take a quick look at it. Oh, dear me, where am I going to put us? Put us down here for now. Right. So yeah, Catalan. At the start of this season, I don't think anybody could have foreseen that. Oh, absolutely unbelievable.
No,
followed by Saints, then Warrington, then Wigan. Great game tomorrow night at the Halliwell Jones. We'll talk about that, I'm sure. Then, of course, Hull at the two Hull teams. Shame that we've got to wait virtually another few weeks yet before those two collide. That should be a good game. And, of course, you've got Leeds, Castleford, then Salford, Wakey, Trinity, and then and Lee. So, looking at that again, I brought it to light last time we did this show. I'm going to bring it to light again today. If you're a Wigan Warriors fan, to have a points deficit has got to be of concern. I've probably gone and put 50 past Warrington now tomorrow. But it's just un-Wigan-like, isn't it? Absolutely un-Wigan-like to see
a team for a team that's built on defence. Wigan has always been built on a solid defence.
Yeah.
And yet I can't remember them having a heavy defeat.
They've been tight. I mean, I think the thing is they haven't blown anybody away, have they? I mean, even in the games that they've won. I mean, Lee. I mean, the two Lee gave them a game, so they've not really blown anybody away.
But they haven't been blown away themselves, as far as
they've all been tight games. To be fair, Wigan, which will worry Wigan fans from the point of view not of the tight games against the Saints, the Catalan, etc., but certainly the lower teams in that table that I don't know. Is it attitude? I don't know. But it's just un-Wigan-like, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It is. Like you say, it's very difficult to put your finger on what. I mean, is that the reason why there's rumblings behind the scenes and why, Lamb's future seems to be up in the air?
Well, talking of rumblings behind the scenes, let's do two for the price of one. Massive news coming out of St Helens this week that Farge's season is over. That is a mammoth blow.
Played his last game for Saints as well.
He will. Yeah, because I think he's touted to go to Huddersfield, isn't he?
Yeah. See, the thing for me was, I think we did speak about this a couple of weeks ago. The last time we were on air, is that Saints were a better team at Wembley without him. Now, Saints fans. That's a neutral's point of view.
Yeah.
If you think different, then please feel free.
Yeah.
And I know, and as I said a couple of weeks ago, I think when they lost to Warrington at Wembley, and Coop got a lot of criticism for his performance. Farge was shocking that day. Farge was absolutely shocking that day.
Yeah.
So have Saints seen something that fans that watch other teams don't see watching them on a regular basis? I'd love to know what Saints fans think about that. Whether they agree with me, whether they think I'm talking rubbish, as has been known on the odd occasion. But a shoulder injury.
But it sounds like if you read what they've said in the announcement, it sounds like he took the knock the week before, but they risked him in the final. And the way Farge has played this season, that's. As we enter into the latter stages now, I mean, don't get me wrong, Saints have still got quality throughout the team, but that with the form that he was in, huge. But then I've also seen reports that off the back of the Luke Gale incident at Leeds, a few people touting Luke Gale for a shot move across to Saints for the rest of the season.
Well, we've seen stranger things happen.
Yeah, but it's a bit
George Williams coming to Warrington for a start, but
well, here's an interesting one. We'll come on. George Williams obviously not in the squad for the game tomorrow. You know what? Let's just roll this one out here as a little bit of tactics on the part of Warrington. Has this been done deliberately? There's a lot of talk that he will play on Sunday against Leeds. This is a bit of fiction now. I'm going to get the pen out and start writing. But, what if this is a correct statement? We know that Wigan at the moment are in torrid form. George Williams in the starting lineup does the team talk.
Yeah.
So by leaving George Williams out of this game, keeps the emotion, or certainly that emotion, out of this game. Is this a tactical ploy by Steve Price, or am I giving him too much credit?
Only Steve Price can answer that question. We can only speculate.
What's your thoughts?
My thoughts is it's a good decision not to play him
Mm-hmm.
for the simple fact, as you say, he does the Wigan team talk.
Yeah, he does.
Although Warrington, as far as I'm aware, are asking for dispensation to add another player to the squad. So interesting. Yeah.
Interesting.
So George Williams has been out of the game, 6 or 7 weeks now, maybe a bit longer. So maybe it is a fact that he's not fit.
Well, there's a lot of, there's a lot of angst. I mean, God dear me, dispensation. And God, there's a lot of supporters around Super League will be wondering where the salary cap is at Warrington at this rate.
It's in my top drawer, here, mate.
You're wearing it.
Let me keep it there during the season.
Unbelievable. I mean, Luke Gale. I mean, what have you heard on Luke Gale? There's loads of different stories. There's one that he he give Agar a bit of back chat.
Commented on his the fact he's follically challenged. I'd be upset.
Yeah.
That I heard he
punched
Richie. Yeah, I know, many a time. Why do you think I wear a hat? The COVID comb over's not doing the job it was supposed to do. I also heard he decked Richie Milo. Well, he won't be the first, and he probably won't be the last to do that. So
No, Richie Milo. To be fair, Richie Milo's having a good season, isn't he? But the best one I heard was that he's no longer willing to do Ronnie the Rhino at kids' parties, which I thought was a belting line. That was absolutely. I saw that one, and that one made me chuckle. The one thing we know about rugby league fans, they've got great banter. I thought that was absolutely superb.
They had the uniform. They had the costume specially made for him to fit him and everything, so it didn't ruffle his hair.
But again,
actually, if he has called Agar out for his hairstyle, it's a bit like throwing stones in a glass house, isn't it?
Well, absolutely. I can't see it. I really can't see it being as trivial as that.
No.
But anyway, again, only people inside the club will know. Speaking of mascots, though, gotta give Warrington a bit of credit again. I don't know if you've seen it on the Warrington Wolves Facebook page. Wolfie coming out of the den somewhere in Delamere.
In the middle of an island, I heard.
It was he looks like he's like Delamere or something.
Obviously Delamere, yeah.
But again, Warrington marketing. Wolfie coming out of his den, and oh God.
If league titles were handed out for use of social media, Warrington would be champions every year.
Yeah. I always remember when they did. Was it Saints where they put the? We lost. It would be even better if we won that game. But the Wolves are waiting for you or something, flying over the totally wicked with Wolfie in the Kop. It's just genius.
What was that game where he turned up in the long spy coat and the
I think that was Wigan.
Was it Wigan? And they got kicked out of the ground.
Yeah, absolute genius. So in terms of one, just with Ronnie the Rhino coming into me, I thought I'd give...
The funniest one for me on that was when Steve Price picked him up and his head turned backwards. And the next video was him going into hospital with his head on backwards and having it cured. It's clever stuff. It's good stuff.
What Super League need is the same type of thing coming out of the other clubs, with their mascots, and forgive me, other clubs out there if you do this type of thing, but I have to say it does make me chuckle.
Bradford did it for a while with the two balls, and they whizzing around the track in the in the little Jeep.
Right.
They did it really well.
Hanging on for dear life. Hanging on for dear life.
Was it Bully? And
I can't remember.
I can't remember.
I can't remember
Bradford fans.
What was their mascot called?
It was a girl and a boy, Bull.
Yeah, that's right.
And they used to play Bully when they went round.
What a great song. Bully.
Any Bradford fans out there, remind us what your mascots were called.
Yeah, can't remember what the Bradford mascots were called, I have to say.
Something like Bullman and Bull Girl. I thought a Bull Girl was a cow.
Could be. Do you know what? Apart from what we've discussed, obviously a lot of contracts are being signed in and around Super League. Matt Pryor, he's staying on at Leeds, I heard, which is a massive signing for Leeds. That's huge. Pryor's been good. Pryor's been very, very good. Have you heard of any others? I've heard Matt Pryor staying at Leeds. Obviously, Tom Davis staying at Catalan. That's a massive coup for Catalan, keeping Davis, quality player. Chris Chester's come out and poo-pooed Tom Johnson.
Tom Johnston coming to Warrington is one I've heard.
Chester's come out and rubbish that one.
Not sure about that one. Yeah,
not
sure about that one. He's
you know,
we're getting rid of one winger who misses games through suspension to be replaced by a player who misses games through injury. That doesn't make sense for me, that one. So,
yeah, it's a worry.
I'm hoping that was a
On his day,
Yeah.
Tom Johnson would be arguably top 3.
Yeah.
You know, obviously Regan, you've got Grace, got Davis,
Super League. Yeah.
got Johnson. You know, those 3. Forgive me if I'm missing someone, but those 3 are the ones that really stand out for me in terms of prolific wingers. You know, Huddersfield fans will be saying after McGilvery's 4 last week, what you're on about, but
Jake Bibby got a few.
Yeah, hat trick.
Got back to try scoring ways.
Yeah, so we did say, didn't we? We did say
he had a dry spell.
He'd had a massive dry spell, and then all of a sudden, like a bus, they come along at once. Speaking of which, here we go. Let's have a quick look, shall we? Top try scorers. So with that hat trick, with that hat trick, Jake Bibby suddenly flies forward in the charts. Then, of course, you've got Winnipeg Mamo, Tom Davis, we've already discussed, Josh Charlie, Adam Swift having a great season for Hull, and then finally at the bottom, one Toby King. In terms of top try assists, Drinkwater and Connor now top 17 apiece. Tompkins having a great season. Then we've got Jackson Hastings, and actually we didn't mention Jordan Abdul. Abdul had a great game in that game against Catalan. He's having a really good season, and again, you know, very difficult to see where the Super League Man of Steel is up to in the Albert Goldthorpe. It seems to be a bit all over the place at the minute. It doesn't look accurate. Doesn't look accurate.
The thing is, they've changed how it's calculated.
They're not even putting it on the site, mate. They're not even updating it on the Super League website. It looks out of kilter. The last time we did this, Sam Tompkins was joint with Abdul, but and the points haven't moved, and there's no way they weren't top 3, or one of them wouldn't have been in the top 3 picks for that Hull KR Catalan game. So they're not even updating it.
In their defence, though, Dave, maybe it's hard to kind of give the points out when there's only one game or 2 games going on because of cancellations.
And this is what's making it hard for supporters at the minute, mate, isn't it?
Yeah, you know, maybe they've thought, well, what's the point in handing out the points, because not every team has played.
No, I agree.
Yeah, I'm putting words in the mouth. I don't know if that's true or not, but you know, it could be a reason.
Could be. Top meters, there he is, Liam Farrell of Wigan Warriors, rolling back the years. It is fair to say that tomorrow night he will go past 2,000 meters for the season. I think there's no doubt about that tomorrow. I'd expect Tom Davis to also break the 2,000 mark this week as well. Interesting that both the Catalan wingers now feature in top meters this year in that one, which is interesting.
Jamie Mamo's still hanging on in there.
Mamo's still hanging on. And then, of course, we've got for top tacklers, Powell, Pitts Luke Yates, you know, for a forward, getting through a lot of work in defence, as is Josh Jones. And then we've got Danny Houghton in there as well. So all interesting stuff there. Right, here we go. This was oh dear. This was what are we going with there?
Oh wait, horribly wrong.
Horribly wrong. This was the predictions. So you can see there that, you know, we all. I went Tigers, so I got nothing for that one. But anyway, they were the games that took place. The Super League Raw fans absolutely romped it last week. Romped it. Great predictions from Jamie Bennett. Congratulations, Jamie Bennett, Salford Red Devil. I think he scored 16. Is it 16? I think it was 16 points he got.
That's pretty good going.
Was it 17? Let's have a look at it. So he got Saints. So he got the full 5 there. Red Devils, Wakefield. He got the 5 there. I think he got 14. No, he got 2 right. Yeah, he got two on the nose, and I think it was 14.
I can't remember the Wakefield Salford score, if I'm being honest with you. Off the top of my head.
No, I can't.
Well, he did well.
Red Devils won. The Red Devils were always 70 odd, wasn't it? They absolutely battered
them. He smashed it.
Yeah. So no, I think he got 14 points, which was a phenomenal effort from Jamie Bennett. So well done, Jamie. To Jamie on that one. Right. So we go into. Let's have a look at the games that currently are on. Of course, this is all subject to change. So what we'll do. have cast your eye over current form. So in terms of the team with the best form at the moment, no real surprises. Catalan Dragons having an absolute stormer this season thus far. A lot of red in there. There's only really St Helens and Wigan who are on a bit of a run at this moment in time. The rest a little bit colourful, to say the least, in there. So what I'll do, come off there. In fact, I will leave it on actually. So Warrington, Wigan. Just having a quick look at this one. Obviously, we've spoke about the fact that there is no Williams. Rob Butler has gone to obviously Leon Known, so he won't be featuring. Charlie dropped out, so that's going to be interesting in terms of the back line.
I think he's. I think that hand injury is more serious than the club's letting on. It seemed quite clear something was broken in there, whether it's a wrist or a bone in the hand. It didn't look good, so I'm not surprised he won't feature.
No, I agree. In terms of Wigan, they've got John Bateman looking like he's going to return. Liam Byrne is expected to come in as well. So, but still no Don Manfredi. Obviously, Bevan French we know is out for the season. Zach Hardacre still out. Jay Field out. Morgan Smithy's out. And I tell you, I'm really looking forward to seeing again that young lad. Was it Paul? The tall lad in second row.
Oh yes, the double-barreled name.
God, what was his name?
It's Pease Paul or something like that.
It's do you know what? I'm gonna have to go and get that now because that's going to really annoy me. Kai Pearce Paul.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. He really caught my eye when Warrington played them at the DW. So that's going to be
again. We talk about the young lads who were playing for Hull and Huddersfield the other night. He's another good one.
Yeah,
he's another good player.
Right, well, we've got a lot of people watching us on Facebook, which is great. Right, what we do, just for people who've not seen it before, we do a predictions, the fans forum. Join the fans forum if you're not a part of the fans forum. We ask a member to predict every week for us when we do the predictions. And me and Greg obviously do so as well. We're keeping track of it in terms of the league table. The way it works, 3 bandings, obviously winning team, and then the score banding 0 to 8, 9 to 17, and 18 plus. So if you want to play along. Warrington, Wigan, then Greg, who's going to win it and by what score?
I think Wigan are getting some players back. John Bateman is a good addition to that squad. I am though. I don't think Warrington can play as badly as he did against Leeds again. And I'm going to go for Warrington, and I'm going to go 9 to 17.
9 to 17, Warrington. Right, this is interesting then. I see it closer. I'm going to say Warrington 0 to 8.
Okay.
And our guest this week, Brad Little, good name that, Brad Little of Hull FC fame. So a black and white this time around, putting the hand up. He's actually gone. He's gone Wigan Warriors by 9 to 17. He sees Warrington coming a bit of a cropper here.
He could very well be right. I just can't bring myself to say the words Wigan by 9 to 17 against Warrington.
Yeah, so
he could very well be right.
He could very well be right. So that's where he's going. Right, Catalan taking on Wakey. I feel for Wakey here. Not what you want to hear this if you're a Wakefield fan. It's expected that they're going to have the triple boost of James Maloney, Joel Tompkins, and Michael McAlorum coming back. But actually, they're going to replace Benjamin Garcia, who's broke his arm against Hull KR, so that's a long-term injury there. Also, Mike McMeekin isn't going to be playing in this game, which is a bonus if you're a Wakefield Trinity fan. Max Jowett's the only returnee for Trinity. Jay Pitts is suspended, and of course still without Tom Johnson, Bill Tupu, Josh Wood, Joe Westerman as well, not going to be in the team for Wakey.
He was playing well, Joe Westerman as well.
Yeah, not good. So we're right, Catalan Wakey then. Where do you see it?
The form book says Catalan by 18 plus. Yeah. But Catalan seem to have this habit of going behind very early on and going behind by a few tries, and they've kind of got a reputation as a slow starter.
Absolutely.
So if Wakefield get the tactics right and do that and hit them hard, I can see the same kind of story. So I'm not going to go for a Catalan blowout, although all sensible options would say that. I'm going to go Catalan by 9-17 again.
Right.
Okay. And I predict that Wakefield will score first.
Ooh, cheeky.
You want to be 70-0 to Catalan?
Yeah, that's cheeky. I think we've all gone Catalan. No surprises there. I'm going Catalan by 18. Got to.
Yeah.
The fans are going Catalan 9-17, which is interesting. So you agree in agreement there. Right, Hull FC taking on the Leeds Rhinos. Should be a good game, this one. Leeds obviously coming through Salford last time out. Hull losing to Huddersfield Giants, having had a 3-game winning streak before that. Where's your thoughts on this one? Just having a quick look though here. Josh Reynolds back for Hull. That's a big one.
That's a big one. Yeah.
Faramino back, Manu Mayu back, Joe Cater and Connor Wynn all in contention. Not necessarily back, but in contention. Obviously, Savelio suspended.
Yeah. Silly. What possessed him to get involved in that? After
God knows, right at the death as well. Ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, Josh Jones as well.
Yeah, Jake Connor's out still, Josh Griffin out, Scott Taylor obviously still out, Jamie Shaw, their long-term injuries as well. So some good news there for Hull. A couple of big players coming back for them. From a Leeds perspective, Tetevano back. He's a good player. I think Aletsky's back as well. So no, Liam Sutcliffe is in for Aletsky. Aletsky's out because through head assessment. Luke Gale, interested to see if he plays. Hull FC Leeds. He might be on mascot duty.
He might well be. He might be running around with a rhino head on. It's a close. This is a close on this. Leeds not been playing too shabbily.
No,
Hull played really, really well for patches against Huddersfield.
Yeah.
And looked at one stage like they're going to walk the game. And it depends how much disruption this Gale incident has caused.
Yeah, good shout. Could galvanise or could do the opposite. Yeah,
I'm gonna go for Leeds by 0-7, 0-8.
0-8. Right, that's interesting.
For Leeds.
We've all gone different on this one. Your Leeds 0-8. I'm going Hull for the pure reason that it is at the KC. If this was at Headingley, I'd have probably gone with you at 0-8 Leeds. But because it's at the KC, they should have some fans back. I'm going to go Hull 0-8. No surprises, Hull FC fans gone Hull 9-17.
Hull could very, very, very well, if they put a consistent performance and pull on that Huddersfield, the first 20-30 minutes against Huddersfield, they could very well win by a big score. I just get this, this feeling that what's gone on and with Gale and whatever, as you say, is going to kind of bring the Leeds, that trench warfare mentality. I think Leeds might just edge that one.
Right, we could probably do this one pretty quickly. Wigan Warriors go to host Lee Centurions. How do you see it?
Do they? When is that?
That is
that Sunday?
Sunday,
yeah. It's difficult to call that one because a lot of things could happen tomorrow night, suspensions, injuries.
Yeah.
But I would say Wigan 18 plus. I don't think they're going to get caught cold like they did in the first game of the season.
Okay, well the fans have gone the same as you. I'm going to go 9-17 just because the way Lee have played against Wigan in the times they've met this year to this point. I'm just going to see they might just raise the game once more. Right, then we've got Leeds taking on Warrington. Of course, Leeds last time out for Warrington. Leeds beat Warrington. It's at Headingley.
Yeah.
This is going to be an interesting one. Like I say, it is expected that perhaps this will be George Williams' first game. Will he hit the ground running? Will he find it difficult? Is there enough time? Yeah. Will Widdop be back? I don't think he will. No reports suggest that he will. Just Williams is expected.
Will Blake Austin be at Leeds?
There's lots of. I think until Widdop's return, I don't see it.
I don't. But if Gale's going on a short-term loan to St Helens,
no, weirder things happen. Where are you going with this one?
We owe them one. we owe Leeds one, and I think Warrington 9-17. We've got a good record at Headingley against Leeds. We've not lost there very often in the last 4 or 5 years. Apart from that awful nilling we got last February, was it? February before that awful nilling.
Yeah.
I think it was just before the lockdown. We got nilled.
Yeah, there's been a few over the years. There's been a few, anomalies, but normally Leeds Warrington games are a good fair, as they say.
Yeah.
Good fair.
I think Warrington. Did I say 9-17 Warrington?
You said Warrington 9-17. I've gone 0-8.
Okay.
Right, Cass. They'll be keen to get back. Obviously, having had a bit of a layoff of late. Cass Huddersfield. Huddersfield, obviously, having just beat Hull FC. We'll go into this with confidence, I would say, based on that performance. Cass, fair to say, I don't know if it's Challenge Cup syndrome or what, but absolutely off the pace of late. How do you see it?
I'm going to go for a controversial one and say Huddersfield 9-17. I think I very rarely see a team benefit from having a break.
Yeah, no, get that.
And I think, if it's like Warrington when they won the cup, they did. I think they won one game. Then between the final and the end of the season, they won one game.
Yeah.
And you're surprised how much played in that heat and the emotion and the physical toll it takes. And I think Huddersfield will be on a high. They want that next game to come, whereas I don't know whether Castleford do want that next game to come. And I think Huddersfield 9-17.
Okay, interesting. So you've gone Huddersfield 9-17. The fans forum 0-8 Huddersfield. I'm going to go with the Tigers, and I think I'm going to come a cropper on that. But I'm going to go Tigers just for nothing more than shits and giggles. 9-17. Yes, it's a bit mischievous. Why not?
What was the fans' prediction on the Warrington Leeds game?
So did not say it's Leeds 0-8. They're giving it to the Rhinos, which is interesting. Right, Hull FC taking on the Saints. Should be a good game, this one.
It should be.
Should be a good game.
But I see Saints by 18 plus.
Do you? That big?
Yeah.
Right, well, no surprise. The Hull fans gone with Hull 0-8.
I hope he's right.
Yeah,
no offense to you Saints fans.
I've gone Saints 9-17 on that one.
Okay.
And of course, all being well, the final game between now and when we meet again in a week's time is a return game. Hull KR taking on the Catalan Dragons. Will home field advantage swing this one? Will Catalan only lost one game? I can't see Wakefield getting anything in France. But can Hull KR do it again? They've had a couple of great results this year. Can they do it again?
Yeah, I'm going to say yes. I think they can. They pushed them all away. They pushed them all away in France.
Right. Okay.
And as I say,
they'll be
notorious slow starters.
Yeah.
Tony Smith will have done his homework, no doubt about that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say Hull KR 0-8.
So a tight game, but going the way of KR.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I'm gonna. Oh God, this is tough because again, that was a great game. Catalan Hull KR was a great game. Heart or head? Heart or head? Well, I'll go heart. I'll go KR as well. I'm going to go heart. KR. Can they do it? I'm going to have to go with you, 0-8. If I'm going to go that way.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a tight one. But I think,
KR 0. So apologies for my hay fever, by the way.
I'm struggling with hay fever tonight, mate. So don't worry about it.
So myself 0-8. You're 0-8. No real surprise. A Hull FC fan saying that Catalan will win that by 18 plus. I just love impartiality in sport. Absolutely fantastic. But yeah, I mean, hopefully those games go ahead because we need the game played. It is really frustrating at the moment, isn't it?
We need to get our acts together collectively. Yeah. The sport is going through a real bad phase at this moment in time. We're getting criticised from outside. I mean, it was sport headlines when Australian New Zealand pulled out on the BBC. They couldn't get it on there quick enough.
Oh,
Could not get it on there quick enough. The fact Australia and New Zealand have pulled out of the World Cup.
no,
It,
no. No, I mean,
it
and
needs
this
to
is
get
it. I
its
mean, it
act
was
together.
interesting because I think it was Salford actually, and somebody said this, and it was a really valid point that on the day that I think it was Salford, the day that it broke, that the media were all over Australia, New Zealand not coming over.
Yeah.
But even on local Northwest news, there was no mention of Salford's result in the league.
No.
And you're just like, oh, it's crazy. Now,
Well,
I'll be honest with you,
to be
forgive
honest,
us. We have not done a team of the week for a couple of weeks for the pure reason it's all over the place. We have got day jobs. We don't, it's very difficult to pull it all together.
Going back to what you were saying though, Dave, about Northwest, not local news.
Yeah.
Northwest Tonight, the BBC, quite often gets the score from the local sides wrong.
Oh, mate.
It's just amateur stuff.
It is amateur stuff, mate.
But,
it is amateur stuff.
But have we got ourselves to blame?
Possibly. So as we've not done a team of the week, I'm going to do a bit of promotion for the Super League, the Betfred team of the week. Can't really argue. No surprise to see McGilvery and Jake Bibby in there with 3 and 4 tries between them. Jackson Hastings, I think Sam Tompkins would probably give him a run for his money in that decision. Harry Newman, you mentioned his try. Leroy Cudjoe. Jordan Abdul in the we said how well Abdul played. And Will Price getting a nod. Which fair play to Will Price there, getting in that team. Again, Luke Yates, we mentioned Luke Yates, Cruz Lehman.
Yeah.
There he is, Kai Pearce-Paul. A good player. Sam Cassiano, and of course Cameron Smith there at loose forward.
Well, I actually did do a team.
Share it. Go on, mate. What have you got?
Because I had Tompkins at fullback. I thought he had a great game. I had Bibby and McGilvery on the wings, Newman and Cudjoe in the centres. I put Morgan Sneed as my halves.
Who? Sneed and who?
Morg.
Oh yeah, from Catalan. Yeah,
Dr. Death, as he's known. Yeah. Yates, Cruz Leeming. I had Pryor as my other prop.
Yeah.
McQueen, Farrell and Jones.
You're a big fan of McQueen, aren't you?
Yeah, I like him. I think he's good.
You like McQueen. I think my McMeekin loving is your McQueen loving, I think.
Well, I won't go that far. It's not quite a loving. If he's watching, it's nothing like that. Okay.
Happy days.
I'm over Toby King man myself.
Toby King, the ledge that is Sir Toby King. Right. So let's just have a quick look. Obviously, good news is we've got a bit of rugby league coming on the TV. So Warrington Wigan tomorrow, 9:45. Great to see that one. Then Hull Leeds.
9:45?
Sorry, 19:45. My apologies. Yes, 7:45 in all money. Then we've got Thursday night rugby league. Outstanding. Hull FC taking on the Leeds Rhinos.
That has potential to be a great game. Two great games there potentially.
We have, and then we've got Leeds Warrington on Sunday night at 7:30.
Yep.
And on Monday we have got another great game. Hull FC taking on Saints. So Hull FC on twice. Warrington Wolves on twice. But I think it's fair to say those 4 games. Pretty much, I would say the right games for the TV. Just looking down the list here.
It was quite upsetting last week to see that there was just one game on. Now I know the Olympics are on, but I had again with Catalan the TV deal. The problems with the TV deal. This sport has such a great habit of shooting itself in the foot.
Yeah.
Catalan, top of Super League, going great guns, involved in great games week in, week out, tight games that they just edge or come back, and they're struggling to get a TV deal. What's going on there?
I don't know, mate.
What's Sky Sports doing?
God only knows, mate. God only knows. Albeit Sky are in my good graces at the moment because I got an exceptional deal when I kicked off this week. Anyway, that's another story. Right.
Right. Have you had words with them?
I've had words, and as you do, we've got a better deal, which is marvellous. Anyway, just on the topic of Sky, obviously NRL, cracking game Thursday morning, cracking game 10-11, Sydney Roosters, Parramatta Eels. That will be a belter if you like your NRL rugby league.
It's got potential to be a cracker.
And then double header on Saturday the 31st. The starter, if you like your prawn cocktail served chilled. Newcastle Knights taking on the Canberra Raiders. Have to say, Canberra Raiders suddenly coming into a bit of form. For those of you who are interested, you might be able to find it. There was a fantastic hours documentary done on Ricky Stewart, and it is
it is brilliant. It is brilliant. Yeah,
it was done on, I think it was Thursday night. Out of this world. Well worth a download if you can find it.
I get a feeling that might be coming on going onto YouTube fairly soon.
It needs to. It is fantastic. It covers the Ashes. It covers his playing career, his health crisis. It covers his managerial philosophies. One of the finest rugby league players ever to grace the Australian,
and a great coach,
fantastic coach. One of a very few coaches that in his debut year as coach won the Premiership. That's Ricky Stewart. So well worth a watch. And then let's put it this way: it puts Brian Carney's coaching manual to shame. But anyway, that's another story. Melbourne Storm take on the Pen. I know it's terrible, isn't it? But it's
awful.
It is
awful.
Yeah. Let's interview a coach in the bedroom. Anyway, moving on. Like I say, that's the starter. But then the main course, what a main course! Arguably the two best sides in the comp, the Melbourne Storm taking on the Penrith Panthers, 25-11 this Saturday. Well worth.
That's going to be a great game as well.
Some absolute. I have to say, Roosters Parramatta be a great game. I think Canberra should win, but it's NRL; it can go either way. But I think Canberra should be good for the game at Newcastle, and then Melbourne taking on Penrith will be an absolute barnstorm.
Yeah, I'm so glad we don't have to do predictions for the NRL as well.
The thing, we've got a few minutes. I think the thing about the NRL for me that I've always found fantastic is that if a team is trailing by 20 at half time, it does not mean a thing.
No.
In this country, if Wigan were beating Wigan, if Wigan were beating Wakefield, no disrespect Wakefield, by 25 at half time, I think there'd be a lot of Super League fans who go and watch Coronation Street, if they could be called Super League fans watching Coronation Street. But that's another story. But I think they would. Whereas in the NRL, 20 points means nothing. And again, that Ricky Stewart documentary, he talks about that, doesn't he? That there's 7 minutes to go here. 7 minutes to go. There's a lot of rugby still to be played. I mean, we look at 7 minutes over here, and it's like, just got to hold on for 7 minutes. Whereas their mentality is a lot of rugby to be played here in this next 7 minutes. And mentality in sport is so important, isn't it? It's how you see the world. Yeah.
How many times this season have we seen in the NRL a team leading healthily at half time, either getting beat or just scraping a win?
Absolutely, man.
Brisbane Broncos have been winning a lot of games by a fair amount of points at half time this season and last season, and end up getting absolutely battered in the second half. So you're right. And again, no disrespect to somebody like Lee or whatever, but they're losing to Saints 26-0 at half time. There's no way in the world, and again, this is not meant to be disrespectful, that they're going to win that 30 points to 26.
No. Well, honestly, I mean, as you know, I watch as much as I can in terms of both sides of the world. And last week, where's the turn the scores on? I watched a couple of games last week. Parramatta Canberra last week, 12-10 was a phenomenal match. Really, really good watch. The Cowboys put a massive frightener up Storm. Storm came from behind to win 2016.
Yeah, I didn't see that game. I missed that game.
It was a belting game. And then equally then, the Broncos go and put the frighteners up Penrith, 18-12. So those 3 games last week, again, if you can find them and you want to go and watch really good competitive rugby league, those matches were absolutely phenomenal. Obviously, my bunnies did particularly well last week. Particularly well. Good to see.
Talking about that, Dave. I know we're probably running out of time rapidly, but talking about that, and going back to the situation with the World Cup.
Yeah.
Do you not think it's about time that we had one governing body for both sides of the world that coordinates the sport? Is it not time for something like that to happen?
I think there's no doubt for me that if rugby league as a professional sport, not part-time, is going to remain, there has to be serious changes at the head of certainly in this country. NRL have got a luxury because of how prominent the sport is in Australia, but over here unless there's radical change in the way that the game is ran. And this is the problem. And we've said this, and I think most commentators say the same thing. When you've got chairman running the game, you've got a problem.
Yeah.
Because all the chairman cares about, because the supporters of a club, is money and their club. Whereas, you need an impartial committee. And we could run the Rugby Football League. Yes, we're Warrington fans. But actually, other than being supporters, I'm a Rugby League supporter. And I think, and that's what we need. We need people who, and not just that, just got a bit of flair about them, a bit about them.
We've got a situation. Got a situation now, mate. Yeah, it is. We've got a situation now, mate, where sorry to interrupt you, where we've even got the same sport in two different parts of the world playing to different rules. One sport until a couple of years ago had two referees on the pitch, the other one didn't. One did away with scrums, the other one didn't. It's the same sport. When we play against the Australians, whether it's England, whether it's GB, we play to Australian rules with Australian referees.
You're right.
I think we need a governing body that combines and works. Yeah, still have the RFL and the NRL, or the governing bodies, but have an actual central body like FIFA with UEFA and CONCACAF and places like that, having a centralised body that looks after the world game. And obviously, funding is an issue. Would it get the funding? How would it get the funding? But I think now we cannot have the same sport being run in different ways on both sides of the world. We've got to now, if we're to save rugby league as a professional sport in this country, we need a world governing body, or a governing body that brings the two together. I think that's the way forward.
I think for consistency, in any sport, it doesn't bother me too much, when I watch both codes, because I understand what the different rules are, and it doesn't really detract. But it's probably the only sport that I can think of that has that discrepancy.
Yeah, you wouldn't get the Premier League playing to different rules to La Liga.
No, you wouldn't. And this is what I mean. But you say that in the same spirit. Certain leagues have adopted VAR, certain leagues haven't. So there's those.
The rules are still the same.
The rules are the same, yeah, and that's the bit. So no, look, we desperately need it to be looked into, and it's the promotional side. I say every time we have this conversation, it's like I'm a broken record, but every time we have this conversation, I say the same thing. That if it was promoted with the right razzmatazz, proper crunching tackles, they tried it with Bradley Wiggins, I'm sorry, but it was no. Yeah. We don't need Bradley Wiggins, a cyclist with the greatest of respect, promoting rugby league. What we need is a bit of biff. What we need is some big hits, some flair, so for example, that Mike McMeekin flick for the try for Tom Davis, perfect for an advert. Even though it was a bit stupid, that little scuffle that we saw, a bit of that. So there's a bit of needle, a bit of flair. So the advert's showing some massive hits. So you're seeing big hits, you're seeing scuffles, you're seeing quality tries, you're seeing fans, and you create this little razzmatazz bubble that makes people go, 100%. That looks good. And it's like, and again, and I don't want to harp on it because we get criticised for talking about the way the NRL promote the game, but I'm sorry, facts are the facts. The NRL promote the game brilliantly well. If you watch NRL 360, when they do like little prequels to a game or to a player, I remember last year they did one on the Parramatta winger. I'm trying to remember his name.
No, it's not Ferguson, is it?
No, he's on the wing.
Name? Adokar?
No,
it's not. What am I talking about? That's Melbourne. I don't care.
God, that is going to annoy me. But yeah, anyway, last season he was in phenomenal form, and they did this like 1.5 minute promo on him, for a game. So it was all about him and his records and how well he was playing. And it was just brilliantly done. It was like him going in at the corner, banging his chest, couple of celebrations, this, that, the other. And, I could imagine a cricket fan in Australia watching it and go, that looks all right, doesn't it? That looks a good game.
Case in point, it's not worked out for Greg Inglis at Warrington.
Yeah.
But when he signed for Warrington, that was big news. Where was that kind of razzmatazz? Where was Inglis doing the Goanna? Where was Inglis going the full length of the pitch, putting on a big hit?
Yeah.
To promote the game.
Yeah.
Going back to what you're saying about the piece on the winger, something that actually we talked about the week before the Challenge Cup final, the Matauti brothers. And, one of them gets banned the week of the final and doesn't get to play against his brother. And the BBC in their build up to the Challenge Cup final had actually wanted to do a special 20-minute piece on the two brothers. And they said, and it got ruined because he got a ban.
Yeah.
Bang. There's another bullet in the foot of rugby league.
Well, it was you could almost see it like Rocky IV, couldn't you? Like when they put like two boxing gloves coming up and they collide.
Yeah.
You could do say bit of razzmatazz, like both of them stood across from each other and cradled by the same mother, yada yada. You could just theatre, you could just build it. But
and so what does a disciplinary panel do? Yeah.
But on Saturday at 3:00, even though they have the same blood, they drink the same water for one night only. It's like, So people are watching it and go, "What's the two brothers are going to collide in a game like that with those type of hits?" And that's what's going to happen.
My actual moment of the week from that was those two hugging at the end of the final. That was my highlight moment of the week.
Lovely, touching.
It's not just the RFL; it's a disciplinary panel as well. It's loads of little things that are letting the game down in a big way.
Agreed. Yeah.
And I just think we need that extra level. Some people might argue it's more bureaucracy, but I think it's an extra level that of people who turn around and say, "Lads, come on, and ladies, let's get together. Let's stop pulling the game to pieces. Let's see how we can work together." We've got Phil Gould slagging English Rugby League off. We've got the RFL calling Australia and New Zealand cowards. Lads, come on. What's going on here, guys? Let's get this sorted and let's get a single message out there. And this is what it's going to be. And then do your backbiting out of the public light.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, going back to this promotional bit, it's like Sky Sports News. So on Sky Sports News, what they should do, so tomorrow night, Wigan Warrington, there's going to be some massive hits. We know that. There'll be huge hits. I dare say there's going to be some nice tries as well.
Yeah.
And whoever types up the prompters that these people actually read, it could be, what they need to start doing on Sky Sports. Have you discovered Super League yet? Let's show you what's happened today in the Wigan Warrington game. First of all, this has been compared to being hit by a double-decker bus. Bang! Look at that for a hit, and really build it up. So people who are watching Sky Sports News are going, bloody hell, that's all right, isn't it? But it's not just about big hits, it's about fair play. Watch this for a fantastic drive-by. You know what I mean? Yeah. And build it and build, use some descriptive words in there that make people go, when's that on again?
Do you know what, Dave? I agree 100%, but we're lucky if Rugby League gets a mention in what's coming up this summer on Sky Sports.
Yeah, mate.
We had hurling and Gaelic football. It was either curling or Gaelic football was advertised as an upcoming sport to watch on Sky in the summer. And Rugby League wasn't even mentioned. Now, no disrespect to Gaelic football or hurling or whatever it was. But,
you've got to know the place, Greg.
Yeah.
That's what we're saying.
Well, I'm afraid we've been pushed even further back now because of the launch of this 100, the new cricket that's been launched. How bad is that? How bad is that?
I put my teeth out, mate. I remember I went to watch. I know you like your cricket, but I remember going to a cricket. The only good thing about the cricket, mate, for me was that that the beer was on tap and it was flowing.
I love cricket.
Absolutely
I love it.
Boring.
It's just
there's no comparison.
It's forcing the game.
Yeah,
to be something that it's not.
That's
and I'm not sticking the mud. I'm not. I like 2020. I like one day. I like Test matches. I'm sure.
You do realise we're talking
cricket fans out there.
What are we doing?
I know.
Shocking.
And we talk Gaelic football as well.
I've got to step in here. That ain't not allowed. We're not talking different types of
the point of that was that's Sky's new little plaything, the 100.
Yeah, the 100, yeah. But it's, again, it's a bit of snobbery, isn't it? That's what it is. It is what it is. You know, my biggest disappointment is when they always put darts on main event and put the rugby on Sky Sports Mix. So, I mean, I like my darts. I always say it, but they may know. Anyway, that's been a good hour and 10 minutes. It flew by, as it always does.
And my hay fever's winning the day, I'm afraid.
Apologies that it's a Tuesday, guys, but Greg has got a wedding to go to tomorrow. And, of course, it's the Warrington-Wigan game, and we know our place. There is no way that we would ever compete with the finest sport in this world when two Goliaths go head-to-head. So, you know, we know our place. Better to do it tonight and let the glorious game itself, not that we'd have made any difference, take centre stage. Take centre stage tomorrow night.
Don't put us down, Dave.
Well, I just know, unless we do a watch along, mate, I know my place. There's no way. So lots of rugby. Hopefully, no more postponements. I think both sides of the world, some cracking NRL games there, but equally,
Yes,
you know, we've got Warrington-Wigan, we've got Leeds-Warrington, we've got Hull FC taking on Saints and Hull FC taking on. Remind me, who's the other one? Is it Leeds again? Leeds again?
Leeds against us on Sunday.
So yeah, it's Leeds. And Hull play Leeds as well on
Leeds,
Thursday.
Hull, Leeds us, yeah.
So I mean, 4 great games of rugby league there on this side of the world. Some great games on the other side of the world. Try and get them all in. And remember, tip for the week, Ricky Stewart documentary. Absolutely.
Definitely.
Brilliant hour. Like, trust me, it takes an hour and a half, an hour and 20 minutes. You won't regret it. It is a fantastic documentary on one of the finest rugby league scrum halves of all time. So, Greg,
right, sir,
is the hour, my friend. Really enjoyed your company as always.
Good fun again. Indeed. I hope everybody's enjoyed that.
We'll be back next week.
See you next week, guys. Thanks for tuning in.